Thank you everyone for being here today, and I am very excited about this particular episode because we are going to talk about Big Brother Nigeria All-Stars season, which is ongoing right now. When I actually started watching this season, the first thing I noticed is so many big personalities, so many people that already had very big fan bases. So when they came in, it was like there was a lot of confidence. There was a lot of people predicting the winner from week one just based on their fan base and things like that. So you can imagine my surprise when I was watching the show and I realized that one of the people that was actually carrying the season was Ilebaye. And I would definitely say that calling her the David of this season is very befitting because that's one way to really define how this season has been for her. Many people are wondering why so much support is being given to her from us and from people voting for her. Like, what is making people love her so much? What is making people want to vote her to win the show? I mean, I have my own reasons, but I would definitely want to hear from you. Like, what was the moment that you decided you were going to support Ilebaye to win the 120 million?
Actually, I would like when the show started and they called Ilebaye, I found out that okay, she was part of the people that was coming back for the stars. I actually laughed. I was like, what is she doing here? Like, who is this one? This one is celebrity. Because yes, I watched her in her season. That was Level Up season, and I didn't really get to meet her. I didn't know her that, and everybody, I had eyes on other people that were my favorite. I didn't like her, and she spent only 3 weeks. So I didn't get to experience who she was or who she is. So when she came on stage, I was like, I beg, this season is going to be very boring. Who is this one? That was my first impression about her, right? Like, what's she coming to do? What's she going to offer us? And then she came in and she was like one point first. When she came in, she was like a new person compared to others. Others, we've known them, we've heard about them, we follow them on social media. I don't follow Ilebaye on social media. I don't know who she is. I don't even know how she talks. I don't know anything about her. So she was like something that was just unveiling. So it was intriguing to us, like, yes, who is Ilebaye? So everybody was watching her, like, okay, what does this girl have to offer us? That? So I think that was one thing that puts her name out there first. They are trying to see what can she offer us, and they are trying to look for her faults and try to look for her good. Like, she was like a new person. Then she came in, and when everybody was doing the old, I'm a celeb, I have money already, I'm made, she started to give us the drama that we wanted. She was like the top of everyone from the second week. Like, she was trying everything possible to be noticed. Like, then she was like, no, I wouldn't make the same mistake I made in my first season. I'm going to be outspoken. I'm going to not let anybody ride me. At the point, she was overdoing it, yes. But trust me, when you come into Big Brother, look at Princess for an example. If you don't show yourself, people will not see. So she took took this second chance very well, and then she tried to portray herself in a good light. She was giving us drama, she was giving us basketball, she was giving us, then compared with her age, compared to everyone in the house, she's 22, we have 40s and 30s in the house. We have people that have cars, businesses, people that are CEOs, bosses in the house. It's very intimidating to be among those people and actually come out. This babe had nothing to say. She was just like, I'm a Gen Z baddie. I'm a graduate.
Yeah.
I can remember that night, and anybody was like, I'm a CEO of this. I run this. I am this. And if it was somebody like me, I probably would be like down because everybody's talking. And she left BBN 2 years ago, right? And she has not had anything to show for it. 2 years ago, yes, because then BBN was it last year?
It was last year.
Last year. Then we had BBN Titan. Then it's more than a year. And then she had nothing to write home about, like nothing. But she could still stand. I can remember that when people were laughing like in the background. They were not giving that audience, but she had nothing to offer. Trust me, she was like, I'm a Gen Z baddie and I'm a graduate. Nothing else. And I was like, she was going to start an orphanage. I can remember that.
Yeah.
So she had not even started.
Yeah, she said something about that.
She doesn't have. So I was like, for somebody like this that doesn't have any and is ambitious, that has a dream, then maybe she has something to offer. So that was the night I started, looking out for her and the things that she stands for.
Hi guys. The moment it all started for me was that at first, when this all-star thing started, I was like, I anticipated Sisi and Tacha because I love those two. So I'm already thinking in my head, I'm going to split my votes between both of them. And lastly, Tacha did not. So just Sisi. So I was like, okay, that's good. Then we'll have somebody here. But then immediately the whole show started, when my own narrative changed was when I noticed, before the thing that Ike did to her, when I noticed how people really looked down on her. No, okay, they didn't even go far. So I was like, summer number one is fine, number two. I already counting how they will live in Goody first. Then so when it started for me was when they started giving her that attitude before Ike even did that thing to her. I'm already seeing that attitude. I don't like when people look down on people because I already went through that phase in my life and I know what it feels like. So I was like, I don't really like this. So immediately they're doing all those things, and I was like, okay, I'll vote for this girl. I mean, I'm going to vote for her. That's how I decided. Like, I was like, I'm going to give my vote to her. Let her stay. After I already know CC have fans. That's what I thought in my head. And that was how it started for me. From voting for her that second week, just to give her the vote because of how the housemates had been. Let her not leave that week. Like that, I started voting till today. So it, when I noticed they were giving her bad attitude of you're not my level kind of attitude, and I don't like that.
Though I've been watching Big Brother Naija, like from season 2 to this season, and I've never voted for somebody before in my life. I only stand with my mouth. And I've not voted for anybody. No, to be sincere. But you see this season, like immediately I saw Ilebaye on stage, the first thought was, what is this one doing here? What is she doing here? Who even know you from Level Up? Like, that was my first thought of her, that you 2 weeks, don't go house. So that was it. But the moment I started liking this girl was, I think first, Tolani Badge. What she did to her, and then she started raining insults to her, leave Neo's bed, and the way she dragged the stuff out of her body and asked her to leave the bed. I was like, what kind of disrespect is this? Even if she's the youngest, does not make her somebody you can just walk on like that. Because me, I'm somebody that even if you're older than me, you can't just start walking on me like that. Like, I would not take it. I would respect you if you respect me. So that's me. And the fact that she has most of the kind of attitude I have, like, for example, me and you having an argument, before you know it, I'll start removing water from my eye. Not like as if I want to cry, but that is just me. And some people feel like you're always playing the victim. No, I'm not playing the victim. That is me for you.
Yes.
Why would I might beat you up and I'll still cry while explaining.
Yes.
So the fact that they keep spreading this wrong narrative about her, I was like, you see this girl, I will stand for her with my full chest. Like me, I started voting. Like, what I've not done before in the history of Big Brother. I started voting for Ilebaye. I said I will stand for this girl from now till the very first day they will announce her the winner, and that's what I'm going to do. Like, I go to the streets, I beg phones,
wow,
to get votes for her.
Right.
I work inside Mandela's. Like, I go from shops to shops to collect phone. Please bring your phone. Let me use your number. Or wait, let me register some numbers on your phone. Don't worry, next week I'll use it again. No, make sure you don't touch what I do on your phone. Like, I just get to like her because she has most of my own personality, and the fact that they're always looking down on her. No. So me, I believe if we can even stand this girl, like make her even win, they would know that yes, it's not really, really even good for them to just look down on somebody like that. You can't just look down on somebody and like, what kind of name this guy has not even received. That's why I was like, for this thing, no, me, I will vote for her. My family will vote for her. Everybody related to me will vote for her, whether they like it or not. So that was how I got to start falling for her. I fell for her. She used me.
She manipulated you. What everybody said here is just so valid, because even for me, first of all, I've never watched Big Brother before. And even when I maybe watched some clips or maybe like Level Up season, it wasn't even during the season, it was after. And I had no plan to support anybody. Like, for me, if I'm watching shows, it's for the entertainment. It's not for me to like stress myself and support and vote. But like, I was watching this show, And the first thing I noticed was there was a lot of pride. Like almost everybody there came in with this attitude of, do you know who I am? And I'm not even talking about necessarily only towards the Ilebaye, but just overall, there was this attitude of, I am made, I am this, I am that. So already that for me was a little bit off-putting, because I feel like even if you're successful, even if you are known, even if you have achieved something, which by the way, not everybody there is on the same level of success and achievement, but everybody is acting like they are, but not everybody there is. But bottom line is, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be humble. You can still come in with humility. I think humility is very attractive. So automatically I was drawn away from all the people that I felt were very prideful. That left a few other people, because there were just like a few that I would say were humble and came in with humility. Then I started to notice that the reactions and actions towards housemates was not balanced, because some people would do certain things and everybody will be quiet. Like even when it is so obvious and evident that they're wrong, but everybody will be quiet. Then some other people can do something as small as taking a bottle of water, and all of a sudden the same quiet people, their voice will automatically come out. So it was like, why is there no balance in how people are reacting and acting towards people? Thirdly, I think because there was this perception of let's not go against people that had a very high fan base, there was almost like people acting as fans towards certain people, which was very obvious, because the viewer, you're watching it and you're looking at everybody, you're looking at everybody as equals. But like, it's very weird to see fans who are on the show and you want us to vote for you. Well, you're a fan of this person. Let's vote for the person you're a fan of, or let's vote for somebody else, because I don't understand what you're really trying to do on the show. And then this takes me to how I even got to Ilebaye, because at the beginning I was actually wondering what she was doing on the show, to be honest. I was like, I know some people, but this is not one of the people that I actually really know. But then she got my attention because I could see how intentional she was about creating content. She was not dulling at all. From week one, she was everywhere. She was in every discussion. She was in every drama. She was in everything, good and bad. She was there. So it got my attention. It didn't necessarily get my support initially, but it got my attention. And then I started to notice that even when people would do things to her, and sometimes situations will arise, sometimes maybe her fault, sometimes not, it didn't stop her from continuing to play the game. It didn't stop her from continuing to give us content. It's like, no matter what anybody does, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to do the best I can. So I found that very resilient. I saw that as resilience on her end. And yes, I didn't necessarily like certain things that were done, but I won't say that that's the only reason why I support her. I think I support her more because of she has really shown all through this season that she is a very determined person. She's imperfect, but at least she's not scared of owning her mistakes and trying to do better. Unlike some people who don't even own their mistakes at all on the show. I would rather support someone who makes mistakes and admits it and says they're sorry and tries to do better and shows kindness to people even when they don't show it to her, than someone who thinks they're perfect. Well, we can clearly see through our TV screens that you're very far from perfect. So that's definitely would be like a summary of the reason why I support her. What do you think were her biggest highlights this season?
My biggest highlights this season has to be that HOH. Is it that HOH? It gave me so much joy. Like, it was like the definition of what God cannot do does not exist. Like, like that popular saying of Okwaroge or that in Igbo. Like, when it's your time for something, you will get it. That is my biggest highlights. Like, I was screaming from my parlor. I was shouting. I was like, that's my biggest highlights. How winning that HOH, the suffering, the whole stress, staying true. That has to be my biggest highlight this season. I said to God.
I kind of like some things she did. Like, for me, my highlights are, like, I think about 3 or 2 of them. The first, when she won the Super Commando woman, when she won that game, like, the fact that she was trying so hard, the fact that some people be like, okay, she's not smart, she's dumb, she's this, she's that. But when it comes to personal arena games, she has always proved to be smart. She has always won personal games more than even any other person. Like, it's one highlight for me. And then she said something about the HOH game.
Yes.
That was also a very, like, I was coming back from work and I was screaming inside the bus. I was like, oh my God, we won. Everybody was like, what is wrong? I said, Ilebaye won, head of house. My baby in the finale, so God has done it. And I remember when I think one of the housemates asked her that, when is she going to win this head of house game? And her reply was, I will win when it's the right time, when God wants me to win.
Yes, I think it was Alex that asked her that question.
And you see, I heard to that and I was like, amen, you will win when it is the right time for you to win. And she actually won this game when it was the right time, because as me, she did not win this game, definitely she'll be up this week.
Yeah.
They would definitely put her up this week. So the fact that God came through for her, oh my God, like, no. It was so sweet. And when she won that HMF tax of everything, when this guy said my what did he even call her? Said
my smart investor.
my best trader. Meanwhile, you already said something that you would not want to have any kind of business with Ilebaye.
No, what he
She's a
said
liar.
Was, I think what he said was that when they go outside, you won't have any business deals with her.
With Ilebaye. And then
and then the next day she won and was like, my smart investor.
And it was exactly like, that was something that, oh my God, I was like, oh, so now she's your investor and now she's smart. But you just said something else about her. Like, the girl, she's really blessed, for real. So that was it for me.
Okay, I'll go now. So my own highlight is when she won the Super Commando. Nobody was rooting for her. You know, when God has said, this thing is yours, regardless of whatever happens, you're going to get there. She was already out of the race, but then Grace spoke for her. Like, she was already out. She wasn't part of the chosen two. Then they found out that one of them cheated, and then they had to disqualify one person for her. You know that kind of thing when they say protocols will be broken for your sake. That was her story. Like, wasn't people didn't want it to be hers. Then God just said, no, Dave, this is yours, and then he just opened the door for her. Trust me, I'm so sure that even when she was answering those questions, she wasn't sure. When she was answering the numbers for the mass pass, like the second one, she said she used Doi's age, you understand, to answer the question, and it was true. So just know, when God says it's your time, whatever you do, it's your time. Protocols will be broken for you. That's my highlight. Like, it taught me a lot. Like, even when you work hard for something, it might not necessarily be yours. But when God says yes, then it's yes. Thank you.
I think for me, it's
hi.
You guys mentioned, and then there's also something that strikes me about her that she has done repeatedly. Every time people do things to her, and I want to bring up the time when, you know, that specific individual threw her clothes in the bathroom. Her reaction when they were talking, I think some days after or a week after, I can't remember how long, and he was talking about possibly doing it to somebody else. And then Ilebaye was advising him, as if to say they're friends, like nothing happened, and just genuinely giving him advice. And if you see the way she actually even acted towards him, even after the incident, a lot of people would have carried that grudge. A lot of people would have not been able to still be kind to this person, still be nice, like they would have just held on to that, and that would have been it. But I think she showed us in that moment how her heart works. She showed us who she is, regardless of what anybody wants to say about her. I don't think anybody can say she's not a kind person. And repeatedly, even with her choice of BFFs, we have seen her always act out of kindness and not out of spite or anger. It's always like, that's usually how she leads. And I just think that that's one of the things that I respect the most and value the most about how she conducted herself this season. Would you say that Ilebaye is misunderstood? And if so, what do you think people misunderstand about her the most?
I feel like she's being misunderstood for real, okay? Because this pity game narrative was becoming too much, like too much than it may have looked or something like that. So I feel like she's being misunderstood. And my reasons for that is this thing that they called pity game. Like Oreva said that she has that kind of personality. When she's explaining something, she can even start crying. I kind of have that too, but not that much. It's only if maybe they not give me nobody's believing me, that's when I start crying. But I feel like sometimes, like when she actually acts, we should actually look at this. It's okay for people to feel bad. People react to pains in different ways. Me personally, the things that are supposed to even make me angry, the big things, don't even make me angry. It's those tiny, tiny things I can easily do, like moving my bag from here to here, can just upset me like that. I'm working on that, but it's the truth. Unlike when you actually even spoil the bag. Do you understand that instance? So I feel like people are tagging it to pity. But I feel like this girl genuinely act like majority of times this is how she felt, and she just felt like crying. And everybody's tagging it sad. To me, I'll keep saying it. Venita cries stupidly, but nobody have ever tagged it anything like that. They feel like she just maybe that's her way. But whenever she cries, even when she feels pain, imagine being accused for a drink, even if you don't just say she took it or whatever. Are you not going to cry? Everybody's calling it pity. What happened yesterday between her and Venita? That Venita was attacking her because she was eating food and she did not respond. Still, she went inside genuinely on her own. They still tag this pity, blah, 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 blah. So I feel like that's the biggest misunderstanding they have about her. That they don't even believe that she can actually feel bad or sorry or react to pain in a different way. And I feel like that is very, very wrong. You can't tell people how they act. That's very wrong for me.
People underestimate her a lot. They don't expect her to be smart. You understand? So when she does some things, they find it difficult to believe that it's coming from her. Like she's not that smart. And then another thing is that they just see her as someone that is disrespectful because of the way she talks. They expect her to use the word ma, not like ma or sa in that context, but when she talks, they want her to talk to them with respect. So when she talks to them like she's one of them, they don't see her as one of them. So when she talks to them like she's one of them, they have that mindset. Where's this one coming from? Who is this one? Like the things that, and it's not about age right now, because let's look at Angel. The things that Angel will see. I'm sorry, they don't born Ilebaye to say those kind of things. Like the way Angel will react or talk to other people, Ilebaye can't do that. And this is not coming from age. Do you understand? Yeah. Like there's some things that other people would say or do in that house that they don't expect her to do. So when she becomes victorious in some things like tasks, they're always surprised. You can even see their content now. Nobody believes that she can actually achieve anything when it comes to even tax. So when she even says something, they don't want to take it. Like look at the last 2 weeks, is it last week or last 2 weeks wager last week that they lost. Ilebaye actually, there was even a video clip to you that when she told them that let them create a new game or a new sport that nobody had ever done before. She actually told them, but because it's coming from her, you understand? They just wrote it off. Like this one doesn't have anything to offer. If it was someone like Benita or somebody like or someone like White Money that said something like that, I'm sure they would look into it properly. But because it's coming from Ilebaye in quotes, like you understand. So that there's this discussion about her that she's not smart. So whatever she says, they feel like it doesn't hold water.
I agree with you. Everything you said is true. I think another very big misconception is that she's playing a game, and so she pokes people to get a reaction. I think what people don't understand is that personalities differ, just like backgrounds differ. So people have different ways of acting and reacting. And if you have a set idea of how you think someone should be, you will find everything else outside that idea you have wrong. So if in your mind you think, when this person is talking to me, she has to talk to me using very respectful words, using this, using that, because I'm older than her, because I've been in this game more than her, I have this, I have that. When she does anything outside that, you will find it insulting and you will see it as poking. Also, some people, free spirits, that's what I call them. People that have that free spirit mentality and attitude, they don't really sit down to think very carefully about everything they say and they do. Sometimes they're very spontaneous. And I don't know if people have ever met people that are free spirits. They don't have anything bad in their heart or in their mind towards you, but sometimes the way they say things or the way they may do things may come across to you that way, which is why if you really want to give people a chance, you have to take your time to actually study them and understand things from their point of view as well as yours. But a lot of the people in the house do not care to do that. They only see their own point of view when it comes to Ilebaye, and they don't want to see anything about how she feels or her intention towards things. I think intention is very important because even, I'm just going to bring up, for example, the whole makeup incident. For me, that would be an example. Maybe some people can say, yes, there's some things she could have done better when it came to that specific incident, but I don't think in any kind of way there was an intent of malice. I don't think it was a malicious act. I think it was just an act that could have probably been handled better, but not malicious anyway. But because, you know, the other person and the other people in the house wanted to see it as a malicious act, they tagged it as that and did not give her the benefit of the doubt or even the opportunity to just say, okay, fine, she did something, she didn't mean it that way, let's move on. So I think the biggest misconception is seeing everything that she does as a strategy. I don't even think that free spirits like that are that strategic when it comes to things like that. I think she's smart. I think she's intelligent. I think she knows how she definitely had a game plan going in, but I wouldn't say that poking was part of her game plan. I just think some ways in which she does certain things are just part of her personality. And I definitely wish that people would see the heart behind the acts as against the act itself.
Me, I see by as someone that she don't really talk that much. Most housemates take her silence for like, okay, she accepted what we said about her.
Yeah.
Like the other day that they tried calling her a thief without them hearing our own explanation. I think according to her, Alex gave her her own drink rather. So she dropped it on the table, and then after that, she collected the drink. Not knowing it was for CC, the drink that Alex gave to her was for CC. So when she was like, "What happened? What happened?" Cross said, "Did you collect any drink?" She said no, and then she saw CC trying to like walking angrily out of the party, and she asked again, "Cross, what happened?" And then Cross shouted, why would you be asking me what happened? Did you collect any drink or not? Then she was like, why are you shouting? A simple question. What happened? I just asked, what happened? And then you are shouting. Why are you shouting? Is it because it is me? That's why you are shouting. And for her, she left the place to go and cool off her head. But then again, they started this narrative that, okay, she will provoke you and then she will go and start crying. Meanwhile, for her, she just had to like leave that place and go and cool off her head. But then again, they think whatsoever she does, she's using it as a strategy. She wants people to fall into her trap. She's playing the pity card. She's always emotionally blackmailing the housemates. So I think that aspect, that part, that always misunderstanding this girl. Apart from this game, she has feelings too.
Exactly.
She has every right to want to cry or to feel down when somebody talks to her or tries to accuse her for something she knows she did not do intentionally.
Right.
I believe this old thing, assuming it was, let me say, Ilebaye that wrote that letter.
Oh.
That Angel wrote.
Yeah.
And then she informed Angel that see what I want to do, but I don't want you to tell anybody. And then Ebuka made that statement he made on stage, like exposing the whole thing. Benita would have gone out on Ilebaye that very day.
Yeah.
That, oh, you were the one that did this, you were the one that did that, blah, blah, blah. And then if Ilebaye said, but if it's somebody else, now people will not react. So they'll say, okay, she's trying to bring in the pity card again. But it is true. Because of the truth, Benita did not react the way everybody thinks she's going to react to that later. But as it was to be Ilebaye in that position that Angel was, forget it. the whole house would be on fire that day.
The whole house would have faced him, for sure.
She would say, oh, you want to take my man. You're always focusing on man.
Exactly. Do you get? So, and they find this girl as the easiest target. Like, they always find her very easy to target because, number one, she has just, it's just like, okay, you're working on a snail shell.
Yeah.
You can't talk because if you react or if you do anything, you are out of the game. So they're always wanting to like get this reaction from her, want to make her talk, want to make her to be violent. But like, I like the fact that she's trying her possible best, like ignore most of these things now. Like she has actually learned a lot from this thing, and I'm very, very happy for her because these people in that house.
No, I agree with you, and I mean, she definitely has been misunderstood for sure, but also understood by many. Hence, all the support she's getting and why she is in the finals. What would you find most relatable? What about her personality that we have seen through watching the show? Do you find most relatable to you personally?
The one thing me and Baye have is this: the way we always act whenever we are hot.
Yes.
And whenever we are not allowed to speak. Like me, I'm always mad. Once I'm trying to explain and you're telling me, keep quiet, don't say anything. Oh my God. Like, I'll be like, why would you want me to talk? Am I not human like you? I have every right to feel the same way you are feeling. For the fact that I'm giving you that respect does not warrant you, does not give you the audacity to want to ride me or step on me or use me as your foot smart. So this personality of her always wanting to defend herself, always wanting to clear the hair, and always apologizing so that the whole issue would go down. Like me and now, we have those things in common. Like most times, if I finish ranting, saying whatever I want to say, maybe crying, I'll come and meet and I'll tell you, let's just let this thing die, please. Let's not go deep into it. I'm sorry. Let's just allow the old things slide. Let's just act as if it's never happened. So I think that's what we both have in common. The personality she has, I also have.
Like she said, it's majority two things. Number one, showing them that, okay, I can defend myself. Okay, that defending thing, like my mom always tell me that like they can never pin me down on it. I will just try to explain to you, like, see what happened. I'm not sure if, like, are you understanding? See what happened. This is how it happened. You are getting me wrong. I'm always trying to explain. I'm always trying to explain. And the second one, it's sometimes just walking out or ignoring, like how she does sometimes. She just walk out and ignore, maybe and go and sober on her own, something like that. That's two things I do very well. Most of the time, I just feel like ignoring you and just going to go and lie down or just get out of that place, go and get angry on my own. And always trying to explain myself. So whenever I start doing that, I'm just like, oh my God, if it is me, I will even do worse. I would do more explanation because I feel like she's never explaining very well. So I really find that very relatable when it comes to her.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I was saying that one thing that I like about Ilebaye that makes me relate to her on a personal level, one is she's a fighter. Ilebaye never gives up, even when she can't do it. Can you remember during the HOA tax? Everyone was trying to read her countenance and her body language. She was just there on the cross, like you won't know whether she's tired, you won't know whether she has this strong will, like you can't really read her expression. So I'm someone like that. So another thing is that Ilebaye is not good with expressing herself vocally. So that way, like, yes, she comes out like she can shout and say something, but when it comes to words, even in the diary, we see that everybody is always trying to get words out of her. She's not expressive vocally. She doesn't know how to talk. When she's in a gathering, she's a quiet one. That's why people say she doesn't gossip. When she's in a friendship, she's a quiet one. She at least says what other people say. She's not that vocal, except when it comes to when it matters. And I'm like that. People look at me, I'm like, you look bold, but then when it comes to words, I don't know how to, put two and two together to form words. Not like I can't talk, but then it's hard for me to express myself. So that people tend to misunderstand her. Let's look at the friendship she had with Doyin.
Yeah.
Doyin was the vocal one. She was the more of the timid. Doesn't know. I'm sure there's some things Ilebaye would have wanted to see, for the outside world to see. But then because she doesn't know how to put our words together when it comes to feelings, people then tend to just read it for her. And people can tend to say, she's the bad one, she's this, she's not a good friend, she doesn't stand for you and all that. I'm like that when it comes to friendship. I don't know how to say the things I want to say at that time. So then I pile them up and then it gets me sad. And then I'm like, you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, she's not very vocal when it comes to expressing herself. Look at our relationship with Alex.
Yes.
She was trying to tell Alex that when you're angry, you take it out on me. When you're this, you just boils it down on me. She's trying to express herself, but she's not giving her the chance. And somebody else, she'll probably enter the diary room and go and say, Alex, this, Alex, this, that. But she's not like that. Even when brother asks her, what was the highlight for the week? She just says, Big Brother, I'm fine. But she talks about the task. She doesn't talk about her personal feelings about the things or the relationship she has in the house. And people then tend to read it for her and then tend to judge her based on that. Do you understand? Yeah, thank you.
Beautifully said. And I agree with everything you said. Like, even for me, I think one of the things I find most relatable is I'm usually not someone that you can fully understand at first sight. Like, if you don't make the effort to actually get to know me, your perception may be very different from where I am actually. And that's just because I don't really fit a mold or a box. So when Ilebaye came in and people were not understanding Ilebaye, I could relate to that immediately. I know how hard it is to be in a gathering where you feel a certain way, but maybe because you're not the best at expressing it or showing it the way some people can show it, people don't understand you. And so you're looking at everyone and you're like, I wish you could understand how it is. But you can see how much people don't understand it. So I found that about her very relatable. And also, of course, crying, if you're a sensitive person, if you're someone that your feelings, they just come out and they show, crying is not something that is difficult for you. Like, the tears literally come flowing down your eyes before you even open your mouth to speak. So I never saw her crying as weakness, and I never saw it as a strategy. I saw it as just her being herself. She's being herself, and if it's not good enough for you, then sorry, but she has to be herself. Who else would she be? Someone else? So I found all of that like just very, very relatable, and I'm excited that she's actually in the finals. One last question I have for everyone is, to someone who is undecided, who is still thinking, should I give my vote to Ilebaye? Should I give my vote to someone else? What would you say is the reason why they should vote for Ilebaye?
I would want them to like sit in. Do you get? For example, some I think a few days ago, people were like, she lied about her family, that she came from a poor background. I mean, I've never for once heard her saying I am poor. To be honest, I've never for once heard her saying it. I think it was Benita that said something like, she's not acting like somebody that comes from a good home, like a good home. So I think they narrated it to be, maybe she said her parents was poor, and the fact that she said she left the house. So I think they all put that stuff in a narrative that, okay, she lied that they were poor. But to her, what she said and what people that are close to her are saying is, people always accuse her, always tell her that you are nothing without your father. You can do nothing without your father. And she's trying to want to prove them wrong, that she can do everything without her father's will, that she wants to stand on her own. And she's doing everything for her mom, because it's only her mom that believed in her. It's only her mom that used to tell her, don't worry, everything will be fine. Don't worry, God will bless you with your own. And that due to her mom encouragement, that she considered coming back and saying she wants to come and win, at least have her own money. So they will stop telling her, you are a daddy's girl. Without daddy's money, you can't do this, you can't do that. Just like what you said, that people when they were interested in themselves, they're like, I'm a CEO of this, I'm a CEO of that. But she has nothing to say, because she's only depending on daddy's money. So me, I would want them to vote for her, because she needs it. She needs to stand firm on her own. Like, the fact that her parents are okay, but she still wants her own money, it's enough reason for them to know that this girl is a workaholic, and she's ready to make sure that she's standing on her own. She wants to stand on her own. She wants to make sure that she achieves her dreams without the wealth of her father. She wants to become who she wants to be on her own. Because me, if I'm to vote for anybody, and even if I'm to convince anybody to vote for anybody, I don't see why I want to convince anybody to vote, if not for Baye. For the fact that I like her, like, okay, I'm a fan. Apart from that, on the norms, just men looking at her characteristics, looking at her life, her way of life, like she would want to like make this person like, she deserves this money, she deserves to win, she deserves my vote. Somebody that is always striving. For me, I think that alone, for her saying she wants to stand on her own without her father's vote, is enough reason for me to give her my vote, for me to convince anybody to give them their vote, to give her their vote. For me, I think that's enough reason.
For me, why I'm going to convince anybody and why I want anybody out there who is still considering to vote for Baye is that she has proven to be worthy of that money. It's not like others don't need that money, but she, like, how will I put it? When you compare her to others, she has nothing like that. Okay, I first saw a post on Facebook. Somebody said that I beg they should give this money to any of these queen, Sisi or Messi. They will use it more, they'll utilize it more, they have more investment to do than giving it to somebody like Ilebaye. Ilebaye is just like Fina. That Fina is Raz. First of all, I was not like, I know Fina at least made 1 or 2 with her money, but that's by the way. This shows that it took these people like 4 years or 5 years before they came back to this show. It took them 4 years or 5 years to build where they are to now. When they left the show immediately, they were not much, they stayed building. So why are you underestimating this girl? People should give this girl a chance to prove herself, a chance to prove that what she's worthy of. She has not gotten that access. That is why she has not showed us. These people have gotten more than she have ever think of going. And they've told it to her in the house that she's nowhere of match to them. The class, the money, the connections, and everything. So people should give this girl a chance to prove herself. So this is one of the strongest reasons why I think she deserves that money. You should give her a chance to prove herself, a chance. Others have gotten to a particular level that she has not even crossed at all. So this is an opportunity for all of us out there. So at least give her a chance. This girl is young. Most of us at 22 have not even achieved up to the level she is now. Or even this money. Most of the people in 22 are still in university, sorry. They're still in their university days. But this is someone so young. So I'm calling out on every young person to help this girl to like at least achieve her dreams. It's so much to see someone this young fighting so hard for herself. Majority of people there, they are fighting, but they're not so serious. They have not pushed so hard to come out despite the hard work it is. So we should all join hands together to give her that chance. Just to give her a chance to prove herself, to give her the resources, finance to prove that she's worthy as well. The same way these people have built up to this level, she too can build, only if we agree to help her to get that money. So I believe she needs that money because she needs it more to acquire more things because others have gone somewhere she never see anywhere. So I beg, no, so she can get somewhere.
This is kind of emotional for me because I've never done this for anybody before. I haven't. I like to love people from afar. Like when people put fan base and stanship on their head, like in the previous season, I'm always looking at them like, these people don't have a life. These people don't have job. They're jobless. That's what I feel. And then for me to now do this year, like now I can now relate to the kind of love that they have for these people. These are people that I've not met anybody before. And I don't think I will even meet her because let's be realistic. So for me to do this is kind of coming from a place of love. And why do I like this young lady that I've never met before? Ilebaye was someone that we never saw coming. She is like the underdog. She is the least expected to be where she is right now. But she fought her way through. We all underestimated her. We didn't want to give her the chance to prove herself. So most people are meeting her off from the stage. And trust me, she knows. She will have felt it, or even from the house. Nobody was, like the friendship she had was all camouflaged in, what they call it, was all camouflaged in strategies. Like everybody was either gearing up for one strategy or the other. Even what Ike did to her, it wasn't coming from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of strategy. You can remember he even said that maybe Nigerians would like her for this thing I did, and then maybe she would win, and then Messi would not win. Can you guys remember?
Yeah.
So it wasn't coming from like hatred or likeness, even the friendship that she had, because that was why it was so easy. But people that say one word, like in one day that they like her, and then the next minute they are saying this. And look at all the friendships she had from Cross to Neo to Doyin to Alex. Like they easily turn off on her. And trust me, that house is so small. It's a confided space. She hears everything.
if somebody is talking about you here, you would, even if you don't hear everything, you'll be able to pick up some words. And then because everybody's trying to act for the camera, they want to speak out. Look at Cynthia. Every day, if she doesn't do that, if she doesn't do one thing today, she's calm today, then tomorrow she picks up another thing to use against her. So trust me, she hears everything. So for us to hear all those bad and demeaning words and she tries to fight, no, people like me will have probably given up, like, I'm going home. What did she do to Angel that she wanted to go home? Angel just lost one, like she was just up for one day and she wanted to go home. This guy has been up almost every week. Ilebaye has been up for like, in the 10 weeks, she has gone for like maybe eight times in the 10 weeks. Was
Yes,
only one
so-
time, and this time now was that she was, and this week that she wasn't up. So let's say seven times, and she fought her way through. She was able to camouflage her emotions. Like, look at Soma. Anytime he's up, he's agitated, he's crying. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Look at Angel. She couldn't even undo the nominations this week. It was written all over her. Well, look at that small but mighty Ilebaye. Anytime she's up, she's able to camouflage her feelings. You will not even see it on her face. You won't even see that she's upset. That's why she will probably just go under her duvet to cry, then shake it off and come out. Or she goes into the toilet to cry. So why do I want her to win? Ilebaye is a born fighter. She's a winner. She's strong-willed. And for somebody that maybe she had dreams in her first season that when I come out from Big Brother house, I'm going to be able to achieve this and achieve this and achieve this. But because she came out without fans, she came out without money, she had the visions and the dream, but then she couldn't achieve them. And then she said, no, yes, I have fallen, but now I'm going to rise and I'm going to try again. She didn't give up on her dreams. So if somebody is fighting, I think I should join her to win that battle. I wouldn't want to give my vote to somebody else that probably knows that I'm going to get on the platter of wood, platter of gold, and then not work for it. I have some people in that house that they already know that it's my birthright to win. Yes. There are people in that house that feel like I have what it takes to be a winner, so they're not working towards. They're not working for it. I don't want to mention names. Like they feel like I already have the fan base, I have the money, I have the status quo, I have the friends that can put in money for me. There are some people that feel like, oh, I have the experience. I've done 10 years in Nollywood. I have friends, I have family members, I have fans that can get me there. So for somebody that has nothing to still fight, and that was what we saw when it comes to age tax. She knew that nobody in the house liked that. Like nobody was even giving her the moral support that she needed. Nobody was coming to tell her, babe, you can fight, except for one person. That person came, I'm sure it came at the last minute because of the camera or what people say about him. Because trust me, the relationship they have in the house is all based on strategy. So why should we vote for Ilebaye? Ilebaye is strong. She is a go-getter. She is the it. She is the second chance. Not the one second chance that people that said that this game, this All-Stars is second chance. Ilebaye, she used that second chance very, very, very well.
Very well, to the fullest.
So when we talk about, there's no way we're going to talk about Big Brother All-Stars without not including Ilebaye. She was the drama. She was the game. She was the center of everything. Her storyline was interwoven into everybody's storyline. There's no way anybody will come outside and not talk about it. Right? There's no way. There's one drama should happen. If she's not in between, she'll be the cause. If she's not the cause, she'll be on that. Like she was just everywhere. So why won't I that to win? Really? Why won't one like that to win? She's gonna stand for ladies that probably didn't get it right in the first instance. She's writing a story telling that you can try again. Don't give up. You can try again. And that is what the story I want to sell. I want that she's selling to people. Ilebaye was someone that was written off, but then she allowed her strong will, allowed her workings show for her. So if she wins this morning, which I know she's going to put into good use because she had failed in her season, and now she's coming here to win. So it's going to be like an impact to them that even when you try once and you're not getting, try again, because that time you might actually get the second time actually be your best time. So yes, let's come together and vote for Ilebaye, because she's going to be like our David fighting the Goliaths. Please, thank you so much.
These and many more are the reasons why Ilebaye should win Big Brother. And honestly, if anybody who is watching this or listening to this believes that she should win, I would love for them to add it to the comment section. All the reasons why they believe Ilebaye should win. And while you're adding the comments, you can also subscribe at the same time. You do the both at the same time. And I want to just say thank you for everyone for being here. Please vote for Ilebaye. Please make her the winner of Big Brother All Stars. Please make her the winner of the 120 million. Thank you. I wish joy, peace, and love to everybody.
Bye.